Andrea, the last Cadillac we had was the CT5-V, and you were pretty taken with it.
I sure was. It really made my heart go pitter-patter. Will the CT4-V make me feel the same way? Let's get at it.
So Andrea, before we get going, we got to put it in what?
We have to put it in S for subscribe.
Smash the subscribe button. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says, put it in, ...
Yes, S. And that
also,
was a one take, by the way.
Good job. All right, Instagram. Andrea's Instagram. Here she is looking fab with this Cadillac. So it's motormouth_Andrea for Andrea.
Yes.
And motormouth_auto for the channel. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. We got a little pop there.
Oh, I think that sounds really good.
Now, what was the thing about the CT5-V that you liked so much?
The CT5-V had this roar to it. The engine was incredible, and we talk about the different sounds of engines all the time. Raspy, throaty, deep, roar, all of those things. And that Cadillac took my breath away.
Well, this isn't that.
No, it's not that.
It's a totally different engine. Performance-wise, it's good, but it just doesn't sound the same.
No, but could you imagine that engine in the CT4-V? I mean, maybe that's the Blackwing.
We'll have to wait and see.
I hope we get that.
Yeah, I hope so too. So what are we working with under the hood here?
It's got a 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder with 325 horsepower.
Yeah, now the thing is, this car is in between the competition. Like, so it's got a large 4-cylinder turbo. Most German cars are 2 liters. This is 2.7 liters. And then when you go to their more powerful cars, they're typically 3-liter V6s.
Yes.
So this one is kind of in between there. So it's a large displacement 4-cylinder, but in many instances, it has comparable power to those more expensive models.
Well, that's the crazy thing about it. When you actually compare it, apples to apples in the same category, this has more horsepower. It has 380 pound-foot of torque, which is more than the BMW.
Yeah, we had the M Coupe recently, but if you get the more powerful engine, it's got more power than that.
That's right. And so when you look at the S3 from Audi, we know that they're going to be coming out with a newer vehicle, but same problem, less power, less horsepower. Same with the Mercedes AMG CLA 35.
Yeah, so it's, and then when you get into the price, you start looking at, like, you got more power than a lot of those cars you mentioned, but it's less expensive than a lot of those cars you mentioned.
That's right. So it's actually pretty good value for a luxury sporty sedan.
Yeah, small sporty sedan. I would say that it's, you know, in that Audi A3 sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger than that, but yeah, it's not the biggest in its class. So one thing I want to talk about, Andrea, is butts.
Butts? Or do you want to talk about my butt? Because that would be right up your alley, I'm sure.
Well, you know, it's my favorite subject, but not for this episode. What I want to talk about is Bengal butt. Now, when I say Bengal butt, I don't mean to say you've got the ass of a tiger, like a Bengal tiger.
Yes,
no, there's a designer for BMW in the late 90s, early 2000s named Chris Bengal.
Yeah.
And he came out with this trunk. He didn't actually, he modified this trunk design, and it got the nickname of Bengal butt. Okay, and I don't think anybody wants to have a Bengal butt.
No.
It's not a good look. And unfortunately, the difference between the CT5 and the CT4-V is this has got a little bit of that Bengal butt.
It does. There's something wrong with the taillights and the way that the trunk is set up. It's a bit of a strange look to it.
It looks a little droopy. It's like it's got a droopy butt.
I think that's a good way to say it, droopy.
And maybe in a different color, the butt would look better. It's like, do these jeans make my ass look fat?
That's right.
In this, white makes its ass look fat.
Yes, and white, I'm a little bit surprised we got a white car. It would have been nicer in black or maybe a gray or even the red.
Now, Drea, Cadillac is almost like this mystique brand in pop culture, right?
Yes.
And they came out with a new electric utility concept called Lyric. And I emailed the guy from Cadillac and I said, why is it called Lyric? And he said, Cadillac is the most referenced car brand in music.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, that says something about Cadillac, and it crossed a lot of genres.
Over many, many decades.
That's right. I mean, we've got jazz to blues to rock
What?
to
Can
pop.
you name me some?
I can name you some. Okay, so Bruce Springsteen's Pink Cadillac,
And
Cadillac Ranch.
That's 2 Bruce Springsteen songs, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk something more current like Bruno Mars. That's what I like.
And also a famous one is Dwight Yoakam guitars, Cadillacs, and hip hop. Hip hop. There's loads in hip hop.
Loads in hip hop, and then Chuck Berry's Madeline or Madeline, yeah.
So it's a brand that has this pop culture sort of iconic status. Do you think that this car is helping to restore the image of Cadillac? I'll let you answer in a sec, but I got to drive these cars all the time, and you didn't really have much interaction with Cadillac, but you have had over the last little while. And I've always said to you, I think they make some great cars. Have you changed your mind?
I've changed my mind 100%. First off, with Cadillac, I didn't really love the whole chrome look to it.
The chrome era.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I like things that are a little bit simpler. I don't really think their interior was fantastic either. They have done such a great job with these new products. I mean, props to General Motors. Keep putting out these fantastic products and more people will change their mind about Cadillac. I have.
And a big part for me is the way they go about the interiors. I mean, it's a nice looking car on the outside, minus the droopy butt. But the inside for me, and we talked about it with the CT4-V, is the head unit and the controls are so easy and well thought out. Trust me on this. Domestic car brands do some of the best infotainment screens in the business. They're so easy to use, and then you get all these hard keys and switches below it. You don't have to go into the menu if you don't want to.
No, it's just right at your fingertips. I've really enjoyed driving this. Let's talk a bit about the interior. It's well done. Beautiful materials. There's some gorgeous camel stitching throughout.
Is that camel?
Yes.
I thought it was orange.
No, camel. And it's just really classy, sophisticated. Then you have, the exterior, which you talked about a little bit, being very athletic looking.
And I love the headlight treatment and the grille treatment on the Cadillac cars. They don't look like everything else. Everything looks the same. They've gone a different route, and I really do like it.
So a couple things I wanted to add. The base price of this is just over $45,000. This one that we're test driving is $59,500. Couple things that add up with this are the black alloy wheels, and that's a $3,000 package.
You know what I did before we came out this morning?
Yeah.
I configured this car the way I would order it, and you know what the total was? $49,000. So I added $2,000 worth of options. This car comes nicely equipped. I got the upgraded stereo. I got the upgraded couple of other little, I can't even remember what it was, but it was under 50. And that, my friends, is good value. Now it doesn't have the same sound as the 5, but it's pretty rewarding.
It sounds really good.
Yeah.
It sounds really good, and we use the paddle shifters in manual, and you can really rev it up a little bit more. I thought it was pretty good.
So we get a new car every single week, and I've been doing this for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
And the honest truth is, there's not that many cars I don't want to give back. Like, there's a few times a year I say to you, I do not want to give that car back. I absolutely love that car.
Yes.
And one that stands out for me was the last generation ATS V. Now, granted, that had the high output engine in it, more powerful than this, but I absolutely love that car. It handled beautifully. It even came with a manual transmission.
Yeah,
and
fun.
so what they've done is they've taken that ATS and they've made it into the CT4 and the CT4-V. A lot of the same attributes are still here.
Yeah.
So weight distribution is very important. So this car has a almost perfect 50-50 weight distribution.
Yes.
And when you get it into the corners, it handles really well.
It handles really well. The turn radius is funny with the CT5V and the CT4V. I have to do a lot of UEs, you know, when we're doing our exterior shots, and I can't do a full UE.
Legally, Andrea.
Legal, of course, of course.
Yeah, so the turning around is a bit of a challenge.
Isn't that strange, though?
A couple of things this gets in common with the CT5-V Magnetic Ride Control 4.0, which is a highly sophisticated magnetic ride control system, which does make a big difference in the handling department. They both get a 10-speed automatic transmission. They both get Brembo brakes. They get a slightly different rear differential. This one has a limited slip differential, where the CT5-V gets an electric limited slip differential. It's all sort of techie stuff, but if you're an enthusiast, these things matter.
For sure.
But if you're not an enthusiast, you just enjoy it.
Yeah, you do. So do we want to talk about the elephant in the room a bit, the V and the rebranding?
We did touch on that last time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a little bit.
V used to be their top model.
Yes.
And it used to have V Sport, which was their sort of upgraded performance. Kind of, that's what this is, really, V Sport. But now they call it?
Now they call it V.
Yeah.
But it's Cadillac. They can rebrand it the way they want. It's their company. And you know what I really love that's coming up is Blackwing. Not only is it mysterious, it's kind of dark, it's a cool name, and it's going to be a powerful car.
If it's anything like the old sort of CTS V and the ATS V, it should be fantastic, especially because it got a lot of the same shared technology with Corvette and things like that.
That's
so it should be interesting.
So overall, I think we can both agree this is a great product. We're impressed with the CT4-V. The engine isn't as powerful and as
robust sounding,
as the CT5-V. But great job, Cadillac.
Great price. A lot of value here. Whoa, one thing. We should pump the brakes a little bit. Back seat isn't that big.
No, back seat isn't that big. It's okay for comfort level. I don't know if you're going to get a super tall person back there. You know?
Screw them. You're the driver.
That's true. It may not be as comfortable for the passenger, but
the pretty girl always rides up front. Hey, hon? The pretty girl always rides up front.
You're too sweet. Too sweet.
So Andrea, this is not the CT5-V. It's a different car. It has a lot of similarities, but not the same kind of performance. But the one thing I can say is, the more I drove it, the more I liked it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you 100%. This car is unique. It's a standout, a bright spot amongst its competition, and it's just generally different looking.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.